This is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1, and this is the first Sunday of the new year. And what I want to talk about today is connections, coincidences, and other matters. Now, I was made aware a short time ago that there had been an envelope sent to a Tennessee media outlet, a TV station, regarding the Nashville bomber. Apparently, the Nashville bomber, or someone believed to be the Nashville bomber, had sent a large envelope to one of his neighbors. And apparently to more than one of his neighbors. And that large envelope contained a couple of flash drives. And on the flash drives were stories about fish people, reptile people, hybrid people, aliens, a lot of this weird, extreme conspiracy fantasy theories. And in contacting someone within that organization to answer a simple question of did they see a certain name associated to those particular files, I did not get a no. Did not get a yes, but I did not get a no. I got a rather, well, we can't discuss it, but. And I can't go much further than that. But based on that conversation, one would have to suspect that a certain conspiracy theorist from Northwest Minnesota is likely the author of the content that the Nashville bomber was referring to. And if this is the case, then it is likely that one of my predictions has come true, and that is that this conspiracy theorist is going to drive some nut out there to take this crap seriously, and there's going to be serious ramifications. And that people's lives and property are at risk, and this seems to be the case here. Now, confirmation of all this is probably going to take some time, so we're just going to have to wait and see. But this little coincidence seems to be pretty compelling. Now, while on the subject of coincidences and connections, I would like to bring up something else that happened. Recently, there was a report of a 19-year-old woman being discovered dead at Fort Bliss out in Texas. Now, what makes this rather interesting is that at both Fort Bliss and Fort Bliss, there have been people turning up dead. And there is yet a complete explanation as to why this is happening. It's theories of why this is happening. But this is the interesting coincidence. On my last live stream of the year, my Murdathon, someone came in and said that a certain conspiracy theorist from Northwest Minnesota was residing in the state of Texas. He was enjoying himself on a paddle boat in the lake in Texas. And there also came out reports that this same conspiracy theorist was at Fort Bliss for some unknown reason. He was, quote, on assignment. And others have put him in Fort Bliss, which is on the East Coast. Now, what's interesting is that people have turned up dead at both of these bases. this latest one in Fort Bliss was on New Year's Eve, which was around the time, or actually, correction, make that Christmas Eve. But this is around the time that this particular conspiracy theorist was supposed to be at these military bases and also in East Texas. So again, we have these rather interesting coincidences and possible connections to these locations. So this is something in which to examine. And now I'm going to get on a subject that some might consider a little bit self-serving, but I think it's necessary to get into. Now, as many of you know, I have been trying for the longest time to get over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. There are a number of reasons for it. The main reason is so that I can get credentialed to cover court cases coming up in 2021 in a manner that would be more complete than if I simply recorded the videos and uploaded them or live streamed from a fixed point where I have access to Wi-Fi. Now, in order to do this, I have to have that 1,000 subscriber, and also in order to live stream mobile, I have to have that 1,000 subscriber level. Now, for about the past 3 or 4 weeks, I have been at the 1,000 and above threshold. That was until today. I have dipped below the 1,000 mark once again. I'm at 999 and falling. Now, this is no temper tantrum or whining, it's reality. I know that there is something that I'm not doing right on my channel to where I'm not growing it to anything above 1,000 people. That for some reason I'm not getting the attention of 1,000 people long enough for them to take the time to subscribe. I'm examining what I'm doing to figure out why. I know that my live streams are not polished. My mobiletons are not polished. I'm not a professional looking channel. My narrative is a bit drab. I don't have the so-called broadcaster voice. I've been told I sound like Kermit the Frog. I just don't have what they would consider a media voice. And so trying to grow this niche that I'm in here has turned out to be something of a chore. And part of this problem I'm having that requires me to be at the 1,000 subscriber level is YouTube's fault. They're the ones that make the rules. They're the ones that say in order for you to be at this level on this channel, you have to do this, that, and the other thing. Makes it rather difficult to accomplish what you need to accomplish. The number one fact is there are so many damn people on YouTube doing these channels that it's hard to grow. It's become saturated. We're all doing something on YouTube, either just as a gathering of small private groups or, in my case, trying to reach as many in the general public as I possibly can. And, so getting people's attention, requires a lot of work and it requires a lot of time, which I don't have. I have a lot of things going on offline. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of times, instead of doing daily live streams like I used to do in the past, I have to do these recorded videos in order to get my messages out on the internet because I simply don't have the time. And so I'm stuck having to work with the rules that YouTube has set up. Now, nobody has yet to explain to me why YouTube went to this $1,000 platform, or went to this 1,000 subscriber threshold in order to broadcast mobile. I don't get it. I don't understand it. There's no sense to it. People argue, well, that's the way, because it's a cellular phone, they have to do things different, and that is quite wrong. I am quite familiar with the technology that is used. And YouTube, for the most part, doesn't even know that I'm live streaming by mobile. Yes, it comes out in the IP addresses and so forth. There are technical things that allows YouTube to find this information out if they're looking for it. And apparently they have spent the millions of dollars necessary to have the technology to determine when you're broadcasting on a cell phone and when you're broadcasting from your home PC. It's stupid, but that's what they're doing. And they're also shortchanging themselves for obvious reasons. And not just me, but for the other millions of other people that would like to do the same thing. But YouTube has made its choice. And so, in the coming weeks, I am going to be working on live streaming from Facebook. I have been hesitating doing this because in order to view content on Facebook, you have to be a subscriber. But since there's a sufficient number of people that are subscribed to Facebook, live streaming from Facebook is not going to be that much of a problem. And that's apparently what I'm going to have to do with these mobile casts, is I'm going to have to do it on Facebook and some of the other services out there that don't have this outlandish 1,000 subscriber requirement, at least as of yet. I'm hoping that these other services don't pull this stunt, or it's going to damage the mobile streaming community. And so with that, I'm going to conclude my griping. As always, I do wish people would subscribe, and once subscribed, they stay there, whether they like my content or not. But if you don't, you don't. The messages that I put on this channel are going to get out. The changes I'm making to this channel are going to get out. Now, those frauds and criminals out there are going to be happy because I'm not going to be able to bug them as much anymore. Because it's become a waste of time. And so I'm going to be gradually steering away from these people. My reasons for carping on this subject for years has been obviously, I've stated them time and again, but there becomes a point where the message itself gets saturated and people are just tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. And so I'm going to determine the future of this channel, how often I'm going to be on this channel, and what I'm going to put on this channel. And so we're in a state of transition here on this channel as well as on this year. And so until we meet again, this is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.